Hello, welcome to TOPSHEETZ. Today we're going to be installing the Golden Dragon top sheet on my LibTech TRS. This board is a few years old, seen a lot of trees, seen a lot of hills. Looking a little worse for wear, so we're going to give it a bit of a facelift. To prepare my board for installation, what I did is I removed my bindings, I removed my stomp pad, I removed any stickers or adhesive left over from the stomp pad. And then as well as the tail, you know how they get after a couple of years of inlift lines, they get a little bit chewed up. What I did is I trimmed any of the fraying fiberglass and resealed it with epoxy and allowed it to cure. That way there's no water ingress into the board and I can continue using it. Alright, before you start, you're going to need two things. You're going to need tape, masking tape preferred, and a razor blade. We originally intended to include razor blades in the kits, but as you may understand, there's a liability issue there when you start giving kids knives. Alright, this is the Golden Dragon. We're gonna open her up. Inside, we got ourselves some stickers, a little bit of swag. We got a vinyl squeegee. That's gonna help us with installation. And then we have our top sheet itself. Alrighty, unroll the top sheet. This is a high quality vinyl graphic. Golden Dragon. With a nice awesome dragon in the middle. And a little bit of the shameless pitch. Top sheets right underneath. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to lay it out on top of the snowboard. We're going to try to center that dragon, in this case, as much as possible. We're going to make it look good, get it to where we want it. Then we're going to flip the bottom end over the board. And then take that masking tape and we're just going to tape it there. What this is going to do is it's going to ensure that we get it where we want it after we install it, so we can get like a good dry fit before we seal this thing down. It's okay if you accidentally crease it, you can either leave it, but if it's on the face of your board, you may want to take a little bit of a heat gun to it as you go to press that portion, and that'll get rid of that crease. Heat gun or a hair dryer will be fine. Alrighty, I'm going to do the same thing to this side, but first we're going to switch you to a top view. Alrighty, so we're going to make sure it's all the way out. We're going to make sure that you're nice and centered. You're going to press down, you're going to find the edges of your board. Make sure everything's centered exactly where you want it to be. Here you're just going to press it flat, and then you're going to flip it over the edge. This one you want to be tighter than the back. The back could have been loose, because we're going to undo that in a second anyway. It was just to hold it in place while we do this. So we're going to bring it in, get it nice and tight in there, lay it out nice and flat and firm. That's exactly where we want it. Measure twice, cut once, right? You're going to take a few pieces of your masking tape to hold it in place properly. Now, if you're doing multiple boards, you can actually use the sheet to stick itself here, because this should be the final position of the sheet, but I do like the whole measure twice, cut once. Throw it on, make sure everything's still centered, feel for those binding holes, make sure that it's in the middle of those binding holes. And there, that's pretty much centered. It's good, I always ride a little bit further to the back anyways. Alright, now we're going to undo the one at the end. Flip it all the way over. And that's why it's key to have these ones nice and tight. Or, like you'll see that I'm doing here, is as I peel this backing off, I'm actually going to stick the vinyl to the bottom of the board just in case that masking tape. Let's go. Alright, so once we get the first little bit up, we're going to start peeling that backing off. And we're going to bring it up over top. And then now, as you can see there, I've got the very tip of the board lined up. And then from here, we're getting close to the point of no return. That being said, this vinyl is removable. You can adjust it a few times, but if you adjust it, you may stretch the graphic and it won't be as beautiful as it was originally intended. You can take a bit of heat to shrink it back down, but it's best if you get it right the first time. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take that vinyl spreader or vinyl squeegee and you're gonna gradually pull that backing away while squeegeeing the vinyl down onto the board. This is where patience comes in handy. You gotta make sure you get all those air pockets out before continuing too far. You also don't want to go right up against your backing as you pull it, because that could create a crease. Okay, now that I've got it in about 6 inches, I'm just gonna fold it on itself. It just makes it easier. And right now I know that it's gonna line up. I got some help here. And we're just gonna keep pulling that down. And carry on for the rest of the board. So you can see I got a little bit of a crease there. I'm just gonna lift it up a little bit and write it down. There you have it, all installed. We're just gonna go through, we're gonna make sure we get all the air bubbles out. We're gonna work them towards the edges. Well, this board's beat up a little bit, so it is showing a little bit of the damage through, but at least it's sealed now, so you don't really have to worry about any water getting in. Alrighty, then we'll go into the next step, which is cutting. So now we're going to get into cutting. Just a few things to go over for that install phase. I don't know if you noticed, but through the magic of video editing, I screwed up and we lost alignment about midway through. I was able to pull it off, realign it, and slap it right back on again. There was no real issues with that. You just want to be gentle and keep consistent pressure along the vinyl. Alrighty, for cutting, the method I like to do is we lift the board up and we're going to cut from underneath. So I got my handy dandy Dollarama blade here. I stick it through from the bottom, running along the edge of the board, trying to get it as flush as possible. You don't have to worry about leaving a little bit of extra with this stuff. It is shrink resistant, so when you store it over the summer, it should not shrink along the edges of your board and expose your under. It should remain exactly how it is now. So you're just going from the bottom, trimming all the way around. Over. And just being sure one nice consistent cut works best. Otherwise you end up with little jagged bits. Just all the way along, right along that edge. We got a little bit of snarl off here, so we're just gonna cut that off. Okay, right on the edge. And the bottom over here. And round. Move all your excess. And you will get a little bit rough. The sides are the easiest. You might get a little rough on the tips. That's okay. You can just go through after, now that all that extra crap is out of the way. And just give it a quick little trim. Again, remember to stay flush. You may have to peel up the edge a little bit if it got pressed down during the rest of the process. And just trim it. The other side. Oh, this is the back. I'm cutting over all my repairs here. It's getting a little chonky. I should have sanded it down a little more. Alright, there you have it. Just the TOPSHEETZ Golden Dragon on my Lift Deck TRS. It's a beautiful piece of work. Please like and subscribe. I hope to do more content videos instead of instructional videos, and we'll get out and have some fun on the slopes with these things. Until next time, bye. Hello and welcome to just leave it. Hello, welcome to TOPSHEETZ. Oh, now you're giggling, damn.